Hello and welcome to the August edition of Government at Work. I am your presenter, Paulisa Reiner. Thank you for joining us. In the headlines, Government of Montserrat to ease COVID-19 restrictions, 5 individuals awarded Government of Montserrat scholarships, and 400 planting slips distributed to farmers. These and other stories after this message.
Private sector growth is a key priority for the long-term development of Montserrat. However, this sector faces many challenges, and the COVID-19 pandemic has not made it any easier for businesses, micro and small businesses in particular. Nevertheless, as a resilient community, we must continue to look for innovative opportunities to grow and sustain the development of our private sector. The Enterprise Development Scheme, EDS, was created to do just that. The EDS is a collaborative effort between the Government of Montserrat and the St. Patrick's Cooperative Credit Union and is being funded by the European Union.
We must enable businesses to grow and encourage new ones to be established by providing finances.
Health is wealth. As we can see, many businesses have started during this pandemic, this COVID era. We're asking all residents to seize the opportunity to capitalize on the funding available to create new businesses that are potent to the health sector.
Montserrat has a number of game-changing and innovative individuals in the fields of energy and ICT. We have created the Enterprise Development Scheme just for you.
If you're an agro-processor, if you're looking to add value to your product, if your product has market potential, then the EDS is here for you. Let us grow and expand the Montserrat brand together.
The EDS provides grants up to 20,000 EC dollars and soft loans up to 40,000 EC dollars at the low interest rate of just 3%. Your business will benefit from training, coaching, mentorship, and other support to ensure your ideas become a reality. So whether your business is new, established, or still in the ideation stage, you can apply under the EDS. Applications open in August. Stay tuned to this and other local media platforms for more details.
We aim to create business opportunities. So step out and step up your game with the Enterprise Development Scheme. Build, boost, and grow your business with the Enterprise Development Scheme. Together, we can do it.
The Government of Montserrat intends to ease the COVID-19 restrictions on the island as part of the phased reopening of the island's borders. Premier, the Honourable Joseph Farrell, said as of October 1st, 2021, visitors from anywhere in the world will be allowed to come to Montserrat, but only if they are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. He made the announcement during a press conference held on August 31st, 2021.
The current public health order expires on September 30th, 2021. And Cabinet has already met to agree on the next step from October 1st, 2021. And I'll give you just a few of the points that we have discussed and think of bringing forward. The existing arrival protocols will remain in place for the period of the next order unless amended, to include, of course, negative tests, online registration, pre-clearance of health and immigration, and sort of thing. We have agreed that we'll allow only fully vaccinated visitors on island. Only fully vaccinated visitors will be allowed entry. We have also agreed that gathering will increase from 50 to 75. And you know that this, depending on the spacing and whatever is happening, so if you have enough function, it must be coordinated with the Ministry of Health. We have also looked at social distancing, and we have seen some situations that we are a little concerned about. And so what we have done, we have agreed to reduce social distancing in businesses like banks and supermarkets from 6 feet to 3 feet. From 6 feet to 3 feet with a strict mask mandate. Masks must be worn by everyone entering those businesses because we have reduced the spacing.
The Ministry of Education, Youth Affairs and Sports conducted 3 stakeholder engagement sessions on Wednesday, September 1st, as part of the process to develop a national education curriculum for the island. The meetings were planned to gather the views and opinions of the stakeholders in education, including parents, teachers, and other interested members of the public and diaspora. The sessions were facilitated by Director of Education and Project Focal Point, Dr. Gregory Julius, and Consultant Team Leader, Dr. Kamla Mungal. During her presentation, Dr. Mungal shared some of the major changes expected in the new national curriculum framework.
So for the first time, we will have a comprehensive set of syllabuses to guide teachers in all of the core areas from ECCE or early childhood straight up to the lower secondary level, which ends at Form 3. So I know you have been guided by the OECS learning standards, performance standards, and so on. And that has worked well in some areas. However, we are now undertaking to have syllabuses that are really targeting Montserrat, that are really reflective of your culture and your hopes and aspirations and priorities in all of those core areas. Secondly, Montserrat has said to us quite clearly, both in terms of your documents as well as in terms of your verbal feedback. All teachers, everyone, they've talked about child-centeredness and teaching the children rather than just teaching the subject, ensuring that the children are learning. So that child-centeredness and approach is going to be strongly embedded in the curriculum. So we are ensuring there are suggested teaching and learning strategies that would be appropriate for the children. And more than that, we are ensuring that the assessment strategies are also child-centered and focused on providing feedback to the learning process. In terms of the pedagogies or the teaching and learning strategies, the way in which teachers will teach, we are trying to address a problem that we have been seeing, not just in Montserrat, but of course across the Caribbean. And that is that children are leaving school unable to display the kinds of competencies expected in the workplace, for example. And I'm not just talking about technical competencies, I'm talking about behavioral competencies, the way in which they work together in teams, the way in which they speak and support each other. So those competencies that an employer would expect someone to have leaving school and coming into the workplace, we are seeing deficits in that area. And so we are drawing on authentic teaching and learning pedagogies. What does that mean? It simply means ensuring that students have an opportunity to practice what they're required to do.
The national curriculum of Montserrat is a major component of the 2017 to 2021 education sector plan, with the objectives of providing holistic, lifelong education for all. The project is now expected to be completed by January 2022. The government of Montserrat has awarded scholarships to 5 individuals this year. These scholarships are to pursue undergraduate studies abroad. The recipients of the 2021-2022 National Scholarships, as approved by Cabinet, are Denzel Queely, Alyssa Pontine, Aline Weeks, Victoria Chalmers, and Donalda Henry. Financial support was also provided to 4 individuals pursuing studies at the University of the West Indies UWI 5 Island campus this year. 3 persons will read for a bachelor's in management and the other a bachelor's in economics. This year, 32 applicants were considered by the National Training and Scholarship Advisory Committee. The applications were reviewed against the established criteria and recommendations were submitted by Cabinet for a decision. Scholarship recipients are considered based on the Government of Montserrat's training priorities. These priorities are principally informed by the government's policy agenda, which is the foundation of the island's development thrust. A further 64 persons were given financial assistance and grants to assist with tertiary level studies. Stay with us. More government news stories after this message.
One of those golden apples for me?
Sure, Miss Lisa.
Can I speak to you a moment, please, Terry? Thanks, Terry. So, Renee told me that you were shouting at her and I noticed a bruise on her left arm in class.
I've been trying to follow this positive discipline list, but she doesn't listen. I have 2 jobs and by the time I get home, she doesn't want to go to sleep and I can't deal with all her crying and disobedience.
I understand you must be exhausted. Does she have a routine to follow?
Not really. I make whatever is easiest as she does her homework and I send her to bed. But she always manages to stay up for an extra 3 hours and ask 1,000,001 questions.
How about you try this? First of all, plan out all your meals for the week. Even if you're going to pick up the ingredients on the same day, knowing what you will cook will take some of the stress of wondering what to do. Then sit with her to review her homework. You guys can chat over dinner and then let her help you wash up. Give her the chance to ask questions, Terry. And make sure to ask her about her day as well. Then, when she's ready for bed, she has the chance to ask you just one more question before it's time for lights out.
That sounds like a lot of work.
In class, she asks questions all the time. It's her way of spending time with you. And I'm sure if you give her the chance to talk to you, she'll be more amenable to going to bed on time. And that means more free time for you.
So this positive discipline thing working for you?
To be honest, some days better than others. But I am getting a lot more practice seeing as he's spending most of his day with me now.
Okay, I'll give your suggestion a try.
And if you ever need someone to talk to or somebody to watch out for you while you work, I'm happy to help.
Thanks, Miss Lisa. Let me get going. I'm on to job number 2.
It's tough to care for a child when you're under stress as well. Ask a friend or family member to assist when you're having trouble coping. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Education, UNICEF, this station, and funded by UK Aid.
On Monday, August 16th, the Ministry of Agriculture distributed 400 planting slips to 20 farmers. This marks the launch of a program aimed at increasing the availability of plantains on the island. The program was the idea of the Minister of Agriculture, the Honourable Cranston Buffon. The ministry noted that the distribution of 20 slips to each farmer is the first of many to come, as other persons have been indicating their interest in receiving plantain slips. Director of Agriculture Melissa O'Garrow stated that the ministry presently has a waiting list of 40 persons. She further stated that everyone will not get immediately, but the goal is to eventually give to all persons who requested. 33 senior leaders within the government of Montserrat have started an 11-month learning program. The program began in August 2021 and will continue through to June 2022. It is intended to develop strong leadership within the public service. The Senior Leaders Development Program was created to address the leadership gaps within the service. These gaps include effective planning, building stakeholder relationships, customer service and delivery, among others. The program is intended to promote the development of a well-trained, capable and ethical public service. This intervention will allow public officers from the Senior Assistant Secretary level up to the Permanent Secretary level to gain insight into effective leadership. The program will consist of virtual and face-to-face workshops as well as one-on-one and group coaching sessions over the next year. Premier Honorable Joseph E. Farrell has extended congratulations to the new Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, on behalf of the government and people of Montserrat. Dr. Barnett was installed as the 8th Secretary General and the first female to hold this position on Monday, August 16, 2021. In his message, Premier Farrell noted that Dr. Barnett's appointment has come during a time of severe socio-economic challenges due to threats such as natural disasters, chronic diseases, and the COVID-19 pandemic, amongst other circumstances. Despite this, he said Dr. Barnett's enduring commitment to finding solutions and taking the necessary actions to overcome obstacles is reassuring. We have more government news stories after this message. The Statistics Department of Montserrat within the Ministry of Finance and Economic Management has released an annual series of Statistics Compendium 2016 to 2019. The Statistics Compendium is a standard document that is produced by most national statistical offices to provide a one-stop shop for the main statistics and indicators of the country. The 2016 to 2019 Statistics Compendium includes data on education, health, immigration, elections, banking and finance, population, economic activity, and more. The compendium can be viewed on the Statistics Department's website at statistics.gov.ms. The Chief Statistician, Siobhan Chewitt, expressed thanks to the Statistics Department administrative partners who provided the much-needed data required, and staff within the departments who worked tirelessly to complete the project. A songwriting masterclass titled Writer's Delight, which was facilitated by the Montserrat Arts Council, Office of the Premier, has been deemed successful. The class was held on Wednesday, August 11th and was opened on Zoom for over 50 participants. The session ran for a total of 5 hours from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., covering several helpful topics. Director of the Arts Council, Mr. Kenneth Silkett, said the initiative came at a perfect time, as it is one that ties in with MAC's effort to improve the quality of music produced on Montserrat. The event was hosted by Daryl Gervais, an international songwriter, alongside Valis Shaker HD Weeks, a talented music producer and songwriter. Thank you for tuning in to Government at Work. Join us on the second Monday of next month for our next government news package. I am Police Reiner on behalf of the GIU Government at Work production team. Thank you for watching.
The Government Information Unit, GIU, is the communications arm of the Government of Montserrat. We serve as the official platform for news and information for and about the government's ministries and departments. We develop information products on government's policies, programs, projects, and activities, which are then channeled through various communication platforms. GIU, your official source for news and information on the Government of Montserrat.